the presentation tonight. We're going to talk about a really serious topic tonight, guys. As you know, my name is Shelley Bow, and I've been in the industry and the world of health and wellness and holistic health for a really long time. 25 years. Certified. And at the same time, it's been probably since I was 15 years old that I've really taken an interest in what can happen behind the scenes with holistic health and wellness when you actually believe in epigenetics, and you believe that there's something you can do about the way your genes express themselves. So I do have a few panelists on this evening, and I'm excited to say that behind the scenes, we have a registered nurse, Dee McNamara. We have Kathy Brock, who has been certified and is one of the best in the industry with health and nutrition questions. We have Kim and Nancy, who have got great testimonies and are helping lots of people. And we have the amazing Connie Lair tonight, who is going to be sharing her personal testimony as we walk through the information. So, as somebody who has an extreme interest in health and nutrition and holistic health, sometimes I can come across a little bit firm. So, I'm just going to apologize in advance for that because I have a really, really strong belief that if you believe that you can create your future and your future's health and you can support your body in aging gracefully, I believe if you know that that's a possibility, then you too could be that same person who takes the bull by the horns and says, I can do something about this. I don't have to just believe because there's a history of heart disease in my family that I have to be sick with heart disease. I don't have to believe that just because there's a lot of mental illness in my family that I naturally will have mental illness because it runs in the family. So my goal as we do this 9-month series, this educational series, is to support people who maybe are ready to take or willing to take one step in the right direction. I don't expect you to shoot for perfection right away, but I would hope that based on the series of the information that we're presenting on these third Tuesday evenings, that maybe, just maybe, you would take a step in the right direction. Now, guys, I know there has been some difficulty this evening with people. Apparently, there is something very strange going on behind the scenes with Zoom and Zoom links and webinar links. And I wish that I could explain what's happening. I can't, and I don't get it. I just quick threw the link on my Facebook page, hoping that that would help some of you. But right now, that's probably the best that I can do in hopes that if you click that link, that it will allow you in. Now, I've also got this weird closed captioning thing that's going right over top. So I'm going to try one more thing, guys. So bear with me. Let's see if I can do this tonight. Oh, shoot, we can't. It used to be that we could take our Zooms onto Facebook, but I forgot Facebook doesn't allow for us to do that anymore. So I guess what I can say is my hope and prayer is that if you see that link on my Facebook page or the people that are trying to get in see that link, that they're able to log into that. I think what's happening, guys, is people register and register for all of them. And then when you try to re-register, it won't let you. It's weird. I have to take a look at that. And I think what I'm going to have to do is set these events up that you have to register each time. I think it's the only way that it's going to work right. So my sincere apologies if you have a guest that is trying to get on. You could, however, those of you that are on as panelists, go to the participants icon, click that here. And when you click that, it will give you a copy link that you can share to people. So I'm intentionally taking a little extra time on this slide, knowing that there are people that are right now working to get into the event this evening. So as a certified nutraceutical consultant, somebody who is certified as a product specialist, I've been working in this industry to support health professionals along with the lay population in what are their goals for themselves, for their clients, for their customers, for their families. And we have had tremendous results, and we are truly impacting lives across the world. So, as a certified rapid transformation therapy practitioner, I like to get inside people's heads a little bit, rewire things a little bit. And that's where my belief is that if you believe you can change the expression of what's happening in your body with your genetic variations, then there's a really good chance that you will. So my hope tonight is that you will interact with my panelists because they've been so gracious to spend the time with us this evening and be here to back me up and support me. So as we throw out questions, as we throw out some comparison questions tonight, please interact in the chat. And if you love what you're hearing, just know that as we walk through this, you can absolutely invite people in to listen to the rest of the information because we are going to quite extensively cover the topics of heart health, what's required to have a good, healthy heart system, cardiovascular system. And then we're going to move into the number one cause of heart disease, and that is stress. Stress-related, stress-induced disease. So we're going to cover two very heavy topics tonight. So my first question is, do we know anybody who might be concerned with their heart health, with their cardiovascular health, with their triglyceride levels, their cholesterol levels, their blood pressure levels? Do we know anybody who is working to manage the stress in their life and losing the battle? So throw it in the chat just with a big old yes or a big old no. No, I've never heard of anybody with heart disease or stress in their life, or yes, 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 me, my neighbor, and my family could all use some help in this arena. So let's talk about it. Guys, the human body is just like a machine. When you think about it, there's so many important parts that must work together in order to function optimally. I mean, just imagine just what your eyes do in a day, your ears, a woman to reproduce a child, well, a woman and a man, it does take two, right? To reproduce, conceive, and have a child, and then that child be born, and the child has eyes and a nervous system and a brain, and they have perfect blueprint, perfect coding, and then all of a sudden life happens, right? And all of a sudden they've got issues. And then they grow into an adult body with still a childlike mind, like, I don't know how to cope. I do not get good restful sleep. I seem to always start a good exercise regimen and then stop it. And I'm really struggling to maintain being grounded and balanced and have that good mental clarity. So what is it? What is the secret to staying tuned up? We know what we have to do to keep our car tuned up. But do we know what we have to do to keep our body in tune? That's where some of the questions come in about heart health. People say, come on, everybody in my family has had high blood pressure. They've got high cholesterol. I mean, everybody. So I know I'm going to have it. It has nothing to do with the fact that I've been smoking my whole life. It has nothing to do with the fact that my height to weight ratio is not so good. It has nothing to do with the diet that I eat. So what if I drive through McDonald's every single day, right? What about the saturated fat, those unhealthy fats? Or even worse, some of the fats that we're going to talk about tonight that we know as trans fats and how they're affecting us and our cholesterol levels. What about just having a good, healthy habit and routine of exercise that's right for you? Maybe taking a look and monitoring some of these things. I'm actually a huge proponent of monitoring homocysteine and C-reactive proteins because I really think if we take a look at how stress is affecting us and how inflammation is affecting us, rather than just going, yep, your cholesterol's at this, we better put you on a pill, your blood pressure's at this, we better get you on a pill, right? You've reached age 36, definitely going to get you on a pill. Instead of that, what if we actually took a look at preventing some of those things from happening? Because that's what doctors are telling their patients now. We're just going to work on prevention. So start this pill when you're 36 instead of waiting till you're 65, right? That is not prevention, people. Prevention is doing the right things to support a healthy body, healthy mind, healthy vagus nerve connection. Okay. Here's where I may have a little bit of an issue. I have a bit of a pet peeve when it comes to, and probably because it hits way too close to home for me. You've got somebody in your household who you love dearly, and they've been diagnosed with diabetes, heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, and you feel so sad that every time you come over, every time you come home, you bring muffins and cookies and pies and cakes and all the sweet stuff because it makes them feel better or you feel better. Throw it in the chat. What do you think, guys? I think it makes us feel better. I think we feel better because we feel like, well, I love them and I want to do something for them. You know what they want more than anything? They want your time. More than anything, they want your time. Leave the dang donuts at home and bring yourself there and spend time, play a game. Or you say, well, what about healthy alternatives? Fabulous idea. How about grass-fed beef sticks? How about delicious protein bars? How about baking a little bit differently with monk fruit and almond flour instead of throwing in that crap that we throw in there? How about maybe some bananas or some blueberries or some delicious Bing cherries? Right? If you want to go the sweet route. Guys, there's so many options. The truth is, we know that sugar plays a major role in heart disease. Excess sugar can have several negative effects on the heart. Fat deposits around the heart and the abdomen, higher risk of heart disease and diabetes, triglyceride levels going up. When we consume sugar, we know it has a major impact on triglyceride level, on LDL cholesterol, your bad cholesterol. We know it's linked to bad cholesterol. Guys, these things aren't up for conversation. These are the facts. We know there's a direct link between sugar and high blood pressure. Also, diets that are high in sugar, high blood pressure, and a risk of heart disease and stroke. Chronic inflammation. Guys, how many of us know people that are experiencing chronic inflammation? Inflammation in the tummy, inflammation in the joints, inflammation in the arteries. The inflammation in our body, which can stress the heart and the blood vessels, can lead to increased blood pressure. Chronic inflammation is damaging our blood vessels in our heart, in our eyes, in our kidneys, and it is putting us at risk for heart disease, heart attacks, and strokes. I could probably stop right here tonight, and it would be enough information that somebody would say, what the heck have I been doing? What is wrong with the way I've been treating my body? We have more people addicted to sugar than any other addiction in the world. We have people who have been able to break the habit of cocaine, ecstasy, marijuana, you name it, and they can't break the habit of sugar. So you tell me it's not sickeningly addictive, guys. So how about a little applause for those people that have made the decision tonight that I'm done. I am done with this. You just need to break away, guys. We need to break away and believe that we can. And this is where the thought comes in. I can't. It is a choice. Oh, but it looks so good. You tell yourself that everything is dictated by your thoughts. I walk through the bakery at a store. I used to take my weight management classes through there, and we'd walk through the bakery and I would intentionally have them all repeat after me. This is the most disgusting smell ever. This stuff is gross and disgusting. I would never put this in my body. Why would I ever damage my body by putting this crap in it? And they're like, this sounds crazy. And I'm like, well, this is exactly what my brain says every time I walk through one of those bakeries. Okay, well, what about fats? Isn't fat the problem? Oh, absolutely not. Who taught you that? Good fats. An avocado a day keeps the doctor away in my book. An avocado a day. Guys, salmon, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, olive oils. Wonderful for the body. The body needs them. Do you know that good fats lower bad cholesterol, relieve inflammation, lowers your risk of heart disease, and provides the essential fatty acids to your body? Guys, we need good fats. The bad guys are on the right-hand column. When you look at the saturated fats, like your palm oil and your not grass-fed red meat, because I'm a huge proponent of grass-fed red meat, it's actually a power food. It has to be certified grass-fed to be a power food. But many of us, we're in an economy right now. We're buying what we can afford. You're getting a lot of extra saturated fat in those red meats. But how about those trans fats? Oh, but Shelly, I just had crackers. It was just crackers. I just had a granola bar. So what? I mean, underneath that deep fried batter, it's chicken. I think, right? Or margarine. Oh gosh, when we were sold that bill of goods, that it's better to eat margarine. Do you know when you're in the hospital with heart disease and cancer, they want you to have margarine versus real butter? Oh dear God. They want all the fake stuff instead of the real stuff. The body doesn't know what to do with that junk. Don't buy into that, guys. We need essential fatty acids, essential meaning the body can't make them, so we've got to take them.
Mhm.
How many of you?
Kelly, we're not
Yes,
seeing your slides. Are you showing them?
you've got to be kidding me. None of you are seeing my slides?
I see them
Yeah.
fine.
I see
Oh,
them.
oh, thank God.
I
Thank
see 'em.
God. That would have really set me back to think that I just covered all that information. Oh, praise God that it's just the Elliots. And you know what, you guys? It's in the air because it has been a bit of a challenging week this week. I have no idea why you guys wouldn't be seeing them other than the way you've got your gallery or your view set. Okay. So, but everybody else can see them.
We're
Yes.
working on it. Good.
Okay, you work. If you have to leave and come back in, go ahead, you guys. But yes. Oh, well, I'm grateful you spoke up, but I'm grateful that everybody else spoke up as well. All right, so let's talk about the essentials. Heart Health Omega-3. Knowing that fish oil, essential fatty acids are necessary, essential is one thing. But knowing that science says if they don't have the proper amount of EPA and DHA, it's not worth taking because chances are you're probably taking junk science. So, number one, you want to make sure the EPA and DHA is rich. Omega 3 plays a crucial role in brain development and function. In fact, I can tell you in my practice, when I see somebody, I almost gave disease states right there. So I bit my lip. When I meet with someone and they may be struggling with some very common challenges that might cause them to be bouncing across the room or might make them feel like they're crazy because they're washing their hands 18 times an hour. You know what I'm saying? Those individuals need to have more support with the essential fatty acids, where it's supporting the neurological function of the brain. We also know omega 3 has been shown to support and decrease C reactive protein. And this will, in turn, support the body in bringing down inflammation and improving the immune system. What makes ours unique is that we've got 3,000 milligrams of fish oil in there. 1,500 of those milligrams are EPA and DHA, almost unheard of in any product on the market. Using clean, safe fish, knowing clean waters, knowing they're tested twice, knowing that through those tests, they must confirm that it is free of mercury, lead, PCPs, and other heavy metals. Guys, we exceed the standards that are set by Canada and Europe and the United States. Canada and Europe are pretty strict. The other thing I want to point out when it comes to a healthy, essential fish oil is that most of you walk into a local drugstore and you go, okay, what would be a good one? What would be, whoa, buy one, get one? That must be a really good one. No, guys, if they don't want it on their shelf and they're moving buy one, get one, chances are you don't want it on your shelf. And if you want to prove it to yourself, bite into those things and tell me how rancid and disgusting it tastes because you're getting old fish that probably are laden with toxins and mercury. It is doing more harm than good. So the truth is, you want a clean omega. You want it taken from clean, controlled waters, small fish like sardines and anchovies. Now you're talking about a product that is going to promote and support cardiovascular health, cognitive function, managing stress, enhancing mood. Radical studies out there with people who are repeat offenders, people who have mood issues, severe mood issues, if you know what I'm saying. People who continually find themselves in an aggressive or angry state of mind, people who struggle with keeping balance in their life, people looking for a healthier complexion, and one that's not mentioned often is your tear ducts. Omega-3 helps with so many things. Normal blood flow to the eyes and the body, normal triglyceride levels in the blood, not to mention your blood pressure and your cholesterol. So how many of you, by show of placing a 1 in the chat, would say omega-3, essential omega-3 might be an important part of a good, healthy regimen if we're going to supplement? Throw a 1 in the chat, and my panelists are waiting to see. Now, coenzyme Q10, you guys probably know, and you've probably heard me talk about this before, but if you are taking a statin drug, I would consider it malpractice for your doctor to not share with you that if you're taking a statin drug, which even that's hard for those words to come out of my mouth because I do have some major issues with those, but if you're choosing that, then please choose to have a coenzyme Q10, a high quality coenzyme Q10, because that statin drug is depleting your body of CoQ10. CoQ10 is the mitochondria to your cell, the mitochondria to the muscles that are running your heart. We are depleting the body of the very thing that strengthens the muscle in your heart. You must bring CoQ10 in. We know that by the time you're 80 years old, you have a 50% decline in your coenzyme Q10. The mitochondrial respiratory change. How many of you know people right now with respiratory issues? Mitochondria, think the energy to the cell, that inner energy to the cell. The mitochondria that is supporting the strength in the heart muscle. We've got to make sure we are supporting the body in CoQ10, whether we're taking a statin or not. I'm telling you guys, again, if you want to go the proactive route, then you want to be supporting the body with CoQ10. Now, we specifically with our Nutrimetrics line, we have an isotonic, which you've heard of isotonics before, coenzyme Q10, and we have an advanced small capsule coenzyme Q10. I favor the capsule. The reason I favor the capsule is because I know because of the formulation and the way it has been kept and how we've got the essential oil in there, that is going to be absorbed at a very high rate. We have gone to great measure with vitamin E and lipase to keep our coenzyme Q10 in the isotonic form also in the form it needs to be, because you have to remember, we need it fat soluble. It has to be able to absorb into the fat tissue. So we've placed the oils in there, but I'm again going to say a lot of people are just going to throw it in with their other isotonics, may not get the quality and what they need from that product. So I tend to favor the capsule. It's tiny, okay? Now, in many of the series that we've presented thus far in our 9-month series, we have talked about isotonic solutions. Nothing in the world beats isotonics. It is the most advanced nutraceutical in the world because of its bioavailability, its ability to bypass the stomach, where it's squirted into the small intestine and absorbed at a 90 to 98% rate within 5 to 10 minutes a dose. Now, I used to say the only thing that beats us is IV fluids. I actually don't say that anymore, because with IV fluids, that means I have to leave my house, go to a chair, get a needle put in my vein. And how often do I really want to do that? And for the price point, when I can sit at home, mix up a delicious cocktail, drink it on an empty stomach, and get the same absorption, right? So the one I really want to point out of these 4 products, which do come in a 1 tear open packet, or they come in the bottles individually, depending on how much you want to consume. The one I really want to point out tonight, because we're talking about heart disease and stress, is the activated or methylated B complex. Even though I will say OPC3 and calcium will also have major impact on heart health. Activated B complex has been shown to support both heart health and cardiovascular, hair, skin, nails. That's obviously a bonus. Mood regulation. We know that at the very core of feeling stressed, the first 2 things we want to think about is, could I be deficient in my B vitamins? May I be deficient in my essential omegas or fatty acids? Those would be the first 2 products I'm going to recommend to a client, because I want to make sure we're going least invasive first and what would be the most common deficiencies. Okay, so if you're taking notes tonight, or if you wouldn't mind, put it in the chat. The two supplements that I'm going to go to first, if somebody comes to me and says, I've got a lot of stress going on, or I've got some heart health history in my family, are going to be the activated isotonic B complex and the essential omega-3 fish oil. We know that B vitamins are the cofactor, the carrier, the taxi driver. Without them, it's very difficult to get the other minerals and vitamins to where they need to go. We also know that 80% of the population has an intrinsic factor that will not allow them to uptake B vitamins unless they're methylated, activated. So it wouldn't make sense to partner with a company that was carrying a product that wasn't methylated or activated. Can we all agree? That would be silly. It would be silly to see you wasting your money on that, guys. Don't throw your money away that way. So we've bypassed that by making sure ours is activated and methylated. Now, I've invited a very good friend of mine. When Connie came into my life, what she presented with was amazing. Now, I'm going to say in advance, I am not here to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any of your disease states or illnesses. Neither are any of my panelists or Connie, but Connie is here tonight because she loves the results she's getting. She comes with great credibility. She's done a ton of work on her health, and she's having great results with this particular line. So I asked if she would be kind enough to share the results she's getting with our particular nutraceuticals. Connie?
Hi, Shelley. Thanks for inviting me. I'm from a little town in Midwest Wisconsin. I've been a dairy farm manager for over 30 years, and my health journey started about 10 years ago. I was to the point where I couldn't think, I couldn't function. I felt like a zombie. And being a farm manager, I had like 15 employees underneath me that I also needed to think for. So I wasn't functioning very well at all. And all I wanted to do was sleep, but I couldn't do that either. So I went to my regular physician, and his answer was to put me on antidepressants. And I was so disgusted with that. And I knew I wasn't depressed. Something else was going on. So it was at that moment that I made the decision, my health is my responsibility. So I went to a naturopathic doctor, and she did lab work on me, and she found I had leaky gut so bad that I couldn't absorb much for nutrition. I had Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid autoimmune. And I also did not produce any cortisol. So I was under her care for about 7 years, and I was doing well. I wasn't, thriving, but coming where I came from, I thought I was doing great. So then I got hit with COVID in 2020, and it was a big downward spiral after that. So I went back to all the same symptoms, only worse. So I found a functional medicine doctor that had been recommended to me. And I remember sitting there at my first appointment going over my lab work. She just flat out asked me how I even get out of bed in the morning. So I've been under her care for about 2 years now. She put me on a lot of supplements, and we've tried different things to get my energy back. And I was doing okay. But then my daughters introduced me to Shelley. And I had listened to her several times before I sat down with her and talked to her. Because I don't just put my health in anybody's hands. I wanted to make sure she really knew what she was talking about. So I got her a list of all of my things I was taking, and she did her research and helped me figure out what things I could take from Market America. So I started with the bromelain, the heart health omegas, OPC3, the D3, the B vitamins, curcumin, the digestive support, the Axe. Maybe I'm forgetting some things, but And it was perfect timing when I started this because I had just had my lab work done. So I had 3 months before my next labs. So 3 months later, I was feeling great. I could get up in the morning. I could start my day. I didn't have to try to get motivated. I have energy to last all day. So when I went back to my doctor for my lab work, she asked me what the heck I was doing because my labs were so much better and they hadn't changed a whole lot in the last couple of years. So and now I can go every 6 months, not every 3 months. So I'm pretty excited to have my life back.
Well, we are excited for you, Connie. Every time you share your story, I just want to go, yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much. And I am so grateful that you're willing to share it because I can only imagine how many people can be helped as a result of it. So, and again, guys, I didn't go into this saying, Connie, I'm going to cure you. I came into it going, one, we can probably save you some money. Two, dear God, I can't believe the regimen that you're on. And three, what if we could actually support you in feeling like living your life again? So when Connie shared the good news with me, I cannot tell you, I just wanted to jump and scream and do a jig. So really appreciate it, Connie. So tonight, guys, we're going to talk about something we don't talk about a lot, and that is we actually have an entire heart health system. I don't know if a lot of people know this because we don't talk about it often. We talk about the individual things that we take, CoQ10, OPC, B complex, Lipotrim, but we don't often talk about what's in this pretty box. Inside this box, we have an essential omega-3 that we just talked about. We have a Triactive. This is the only supplement we carry within our nutraceutical line that has the Triactive in it. We don't carry that individually. We have a Lipotrim in here. And what we're looking at is the whole package to be able to support somebody that says, man, there's a history of heart disease. I've got all the signs and symptoms. I haven't been, at that point where I've made the changes in my life to offset some of those things. So I'm ready to listen. Now I'm going to caution you in advance. I am going to go quickly through some of the slides that go into all the detail. I just want you to see what was put into creating this particular product as we walk through this. So first of all, this system we know has an ingredient in there called hesperidin, which is from the citrus aurantium. This is going to support healthy blood glucose levels. Now, that's why I wanted to premise all of this with how sugar affects heart health and heart disease. So normal blood glucose levels is going to support a healthy heart. So that's one of the things. Triactive is going to target 3 major areas. Triactive is one of the ingredients it's a tear open package inside this box. Triactive is going to support healthy arteries, cholesterol, and homocysteine levels. Homocysteine levels have a lot to do with the stress in your body. The omega-3, as you know, can support a healthy mood, can support a healthy stress, can support healthy heart. But we also need to remember the incredible impact this has on overall cardiovascular disease. This is the same omega-3 inside the box that you would get in the bottle. Some people choose to just get that individual bottle, but I want you to know it's the exact same product, so you're getting the exact same quality. Now, Lipotrim is an interesting one. Many people are taking, the statin drugs for lowering cholesterol. I don't know how many of you know this, but a statin drug is formulated to poison the liver so that the liver stops producing cholesterol. So let's just think about this for 1 second. God gave me a liver that produces cholesterol 24/7. Why would he have done that? Was he trying to be funny? Is that his sense of humor? Or could this be something vital to my health? See, cholesterol gets such a bad rap. He's not the bad guy. The bad guy is what's killing your arteries, right? You have weakness in your arteries, and there's reasons for that. We're going to cover some of that. Sugar is one of those reasons. Trans fats is one of those reasons. Your arteries have been damaged. Cholesterol is not the bad guy. He's the good guy, a waxy, sticky substance that comes running in to save the day. That's why it's there. So many of you switch your eating habits over. Now, granted, we can all improve our eating habits, right? But 95% of the cholesterol is produced in your own body, guys. It's being produced by your liver. We do have a product called Lipotrim. And the reason we have Lipotrim is because we know that people are convinced that they've got to get those cholesterol levels down. What if you could do it with an herbal formulation? What if we could support that without poisoning the body, without drying up the lipid tissue in your brain, which I believe has a direct link to dementia and early onset of Alzheimer's. I believe most brain disease is linked to the epidemic of statin drugs that are drying up our liver, drying up our brains, and causing the body to be deficient in coenzyme Q10. I told you guys I was probably gonna rant and rave tonight because this is a topic very near and dear to my heart. Triactive. Good formation of red blood cells, strong heart muscle, normal homocysteine levels, great cholesterol levels, supporting that good cholesterol, bringing down the bad cholesterol, and helping to maintain healthy blood pressure. That triactive ingredient in here is one of a kind. And like I said, it's not sold individually. It's only in the heart health system. So that might be worth some of us taking a further look. Here's where I want to move at a faster pace just to show you the science is there. I'm happy to share behind the scenes, but I'm not going to go into every detail because most people will never remember what each of these ingredients does. What I want you to know is that these ingredients are found in the heart health system. Thiamine, riboflavin, a lot of these are our B vitamins, niacin, B6, again, more B vitamins, folate. We don't want folic acid in our body. Folic acid can be toxic to the body. We need it folate, quadrifolate broken down so the body can absorb it. B12, biotin. How many of you know, a lot of you, I think Nancy has healthier nails, Susan Mercer, healthier nails, right? Pantothenic acid, calcium. Calcium supports a good, healthy heart. Calcium supports a good nervous system. Zinc, good for the immune system. Beta-sitosterol, artichoke leaf, hawthorn berry. I can't even remember how to say this one, but I'm going to give it a shot. Polycosanol. Prickly pear. I'll never forget that one, Kathy Brock. Prickly pear. Capros Indian gooseberry. Citrus aurantium. There's your hesperine. Another look, the possibility of bringing CoQ10 in, because some of you say, I don't know if I'm ready for that whole heart health system, but I certainly like the idea of supporting the mitochondria with that CoQ10. This may be a place to start. I always want to bring it back home to what is, one, respectful of budget, and two, respectful of where you're at. Another supplement we don't talk about very often. This is a newer one, right? Kind of a new kid on the block of heart health. Blood pressure and vascular support. Now, why would we have an herbal formulation that supports blood pressure and vascular support? Ding, 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 right? Because we know that most people are over medicating with so many things that could be causing so many things that bring about so many other things. What if an herbal formulation could give you a better result? Ooh, magnesium. How many of you know somebody who has been diagnosed with a heart condition called AFib? Now, I didn't say I'm here to cure AFib. I'm asking you, how many of you know somebody, afibrillation, AFib? Because I know lots of people, including both of my parents. I had a friend who passed away. He did have heart disease. He ended up medicated. It caused him irreversible damage in his lungs. He ended up getting pneumonia and he passed. Had I known then what I know now about magnesium and the role it plays in heart health, we think of magnesium for muscle relaxation. 50% of it is found in the bones and 50% is found in your body tissues and organs. But magnesium supports the body in contraction and relaxation. It gives the body good, healthy enzymes, synthesizes proteins, and transfers the energy ATP production. So many people like me are fooled to believe if I just drink a little more caffeine, put more caffeine in, you are overtaxing your adrenal glands. You are shutting your system down. Take in some extra magnesium. Believe it or not. Now that didn't go together at first for me. What? It's supposed to relax me. Absolutely. And it absolutely also transfers energy into ATP, which is going to support the energy in your body. But guys, magnesium plays a significant role in heart health. There's a lot of competitors out there, but most of our competitors are using sulfate and oxide forms. The most common benefit is purgative, frequently a concern by a lot of the consumers. So many people say, oh, I get diarrhea from that. Yeah, because you're taking a junk magnesium. That's why you're getting diarrhea. It's poor absorption. It's poor bioavailability. So it's giving you the squirts, people, right? So again, it comes back to good quality, delivering 100% of the recommended daily value of magnesium without any binders or any fillers. I am sold on this isotonic magnesium for what it can do for head, for muscle, blood pressure, cardiovascular, cognitive health, helping balance the body out, and bone health. So when it really is about the results and you don't want to just take something because you want to tell people I'm taking magnesium already, I'm already taking a calcium. I hear that all the time. Oh, I'm already taking that. Are you taking it in the isotonic form? What form are you taking it in? So if results is what you're looking for, why not for a moment step back and go, maybe it's worth upgrading, right? All right, let's move into a little bit about stress, baby, right? So sometimes stress has more to do with our perception of what's happening around us than it is what's really happening around us, right? True or true. So oftentimes I find myself going, like today was one of those days. Oh my gosh, okay, I got to get up early, get my morning routine done. I've got to get out to my daughters, help with the kiddos so they can run to their appointments, so I can get back home, so I can do my therapy session, so I can do my business plan, so I can get on and do this event while they're cutting down a giant tree in my backyard. That felt stressful as I was going through all those thoughts this morning. And I'm like, are you doing, Shelley Bow? Thoughts dictate the feelings and the behaviors and the action. Change the thought, change the way you view this day. I get to go be with my grandkids this morning. I have the privilege and honor of serving somebody in a therapy session today. My tree's going to be cut down. We get a new deck, right? All of a sudden, I just started changing my thoughts and I'm like, well, this isn't a stressful day at all. This day is filled with blessings. This is a wonderful day. You see how quick, and it just depends on how you look at it. So what you tell yourself may be what's actually creating that stress. We do believe that it is good to have support, herbal support, as adaptogens, so we can keep you balanced, so we can keep your hormones where they need to be for your brain to work the way it needs to, right? So let's talk about adaptogens. First off, again, I always go least invasive, so I'm looking at 3 major micronutrients that are depleted by stress. I will say that again, depleted by stress. These are easy supplements so that you can bring and replete them back in. If you're going through a stressful time in your life, a stressful day, dear God, activated B complex, magnesium, and vitamin C may be all we need to do to bring that body back into rhythm. 3 micronutrients that seem so simple. And you think, there's no way. My doctor said I've got to take this. Look at Connie. Goes in and, she's got all these things going on. Well, here, let's give her an antidepressant. She won't even know what's happening. She won't feel a thing. Let's just sedate her enough, right? I mean, seriously, that's how I feel. Let's just tranquilize her a little bit. Maybe she won't remember she's got the pain. I know that this sounds a little bit cynical because it probably is. But the truth is, guys, this is what's really happening. And I look at this and go, she's not deficient in Prozac. She's not deficient in Xanax. She's deficient in micronutrients. So let's give her that, right? So let's give her that. So it's a combined approach, supporting healthy neurotransmitters, otherwise known as hormones, serotonin, dopamine, melatonin, and GABA. Let's talk about bringing back the feeling of bliss. These are the new CBD Bliss gummies with ashwagandha. What a delicious treat to support stress. So we go a little bit above and beyond the competition. Let's talk about how we do that. First, we know a lot about CBD and hemp. Full spectrum CBD contains all the cannabinoids and the plant compounds that are found in it. It's a good option for people that are looking for minimal processing of a hemp plant. Broad spectrum hemp is where the THC is completely removed for people that absolutely want to make sure there's not a trace. The isolates from hemp are the purest form of CBD available. It's highly concentrated, contains no other cannabinoids or no other compounds, plant compounds. Isolates are relatively neutral in regard to mixing with other botanicals. So the benefits of an adaptogen like a cannabinoid or some of the things like ashwagandha and lemon balm and theanine, stress, sleep, and brain function. I always remember we had a mushroom product, if you guys remember that, and had lion's mane in it. Lion's mane is for the brain, cordyceps is for the big biceps, and turkey tail is for the tummy. I remember things with mnemonics all the time, but it's so funny when I see lion's mane, it is for the brain. We also know that Korean ginseng with ashwagandha can actually help increase endurance and promote physical performance. I know this sounds crazy. That's something that supports stress, relaxation, sort of, actually can help promote physical performance as well. In this new Bliss gummy, you've got 30 milligrams of CBD, 300 milligrams of ashwagandha, 50 milligrams of lemon balm, and 50 milligrams of L-theanine. This combination together has proven itself with college kids that are studying for exams, feeling the pressures that they're feeling, with people starting their careers, their new jobs, the stress, the anxiety they're feeling, and with people who are needing a good night's rest but can't seem to settle in. People with emotional eating or addictive personalities, pop a couple of these during the day, bring that back into check, support that anxiety marker. Ashwagandha is one of my favorite ingredients. Indian ginseng supports physiological and psychological stress and supports healthy cortisol levels. And how many of us women want healthy cortisol levels so we can get rid of that tummy? Now, Connie had no cortisol. She's like on the opposite end of the spectrum from most of us. Most of us are overproducing our cortisol. Lemon balm is an interesting one to support a calm alertness. Say that. Calm alertness. That alone just sounds peaceful and happy, doesn't it? I get that same feeling from NAD. Calm alertness. And then L-theanine, a state of alert relaxation. How wonderful. It brings joy to me just thinking about that, right? It makes me want to go grab my bottle of delicious gummies right now. Although I will tell you guys, when you compare us to the competition, because this was one of my questions, aren't there lots of gummies out there that are supposed to support, adaptogenic factors like bringing people back into balance? Yeah, there is a lot of competition and we kick butt in this arena. Look at price to begin with. We absolutely kill the competition in price and of course in ingredients and of course in the purity, the potency, and the quality of this product. So is it an excellent product? It is an excellent product. But gummies, I don't know. Are they good for you? Well, yeah, they are good for you if they're high quality. Absolutely. How many of those can I eat in a day? Well, it's an adaptogen. You will basically have expensive urine if you choose to eat more than 1 or 2 a day. However, I will say I have been known to eat more than 1 or 2 a day. It just depends. My days start at usually 4:30 and they end about 10. So there's enough hours in there, right? So let's move into a couple more adaptogens tonight. Things that, again, are plant-based. Things like Bliss. Bliss in the tablet form. A different product from the Gummy Bliss, a little bit different in ingredients. Both work to manage stress in our lives and support adrenal gland, support healthy balance in our neurotransmitters. Let's talk about the difference here. The Bliss in the tablet form has the ashwagandha, the L-theanine. Then it's got rhodiola, which is for relaxation. And again, it's an adaptogen. passion flower, which many of us have heard about. A lot of our female products that support us through PMS and menopause will have passion flower, Bacopa monnieri, and we've got Siberian ginseng. So it's a little bit different, isn't it? You notice the lemon balm isn't in here. You notice the CBD isn't in here. So it's a little bit different. So people say, which is better? They're both excellent. You just want to try both and see which one you get the better result with. It's about the gut-brain connection, guys. We know as a company that when we put our products together, the synergy of how they work on that gut-brain axis is an absolute must. We need to support the body in regulating the natural functions so that we can have that mental and emotional balance. At the same time, you say, well, Shelley, how much stuff should I take? Do I actually have to take an adaptogen like Bliss and activated B complex and omega-3s? Yes. Yes. Do you have stress? Then yes. What do you, guys, listen to your body. If you're taking one thing and you're still stressed, or you're still having head discomfort, or you're still screaming at your children or your spouse, then the answer is yes, you need them. This is another new kid on the block. And again, I really feel strongly about this one. And number one reason is because it is approved for kids 12 and up. How many of us know somebody that is youth, teenage years, that is experiencing any type of depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, suicidal thought? I'm not here to cure that. I am here to support the feelings behind it. And if we can offset some of what these kids are facing, then please let's do it. I am having tremendous results with this supplement with my kids and my adults. This is a support for emotional balance, vitamin, mental, emotional balance. Let's talk about the dopamine and serotonin as the happy hormones. Some kids struggle to even have get up and go, certainly struggle with feeling joy and pleasure. Many adults struggle with get up and go and feeling feelings of joy and contentment. Most of my clients come to me and say, I just want to feel content. We can help with that. Serotonin and dopamine work together in the body, guys. It does not help to take a pill that just supports one hormone. That is so stupid to me. Yes, I said stupid. We take a pill because it supports serotonin. What about dopamine and GABA? What about all the norepinephrine and adrenaline? What about all the other neurotransmitters? We're just going to let them go? It's only one hormone that runs the show? Absolutely not. We know that this product may support many areas, even memory. We know it's good for children and adults. We know it supports focus. Think about the hormone changes kids are going through. Think about what they're experiencing just walking through those school doors. What kids face these days, I'm sorry, guys, but it is rougher than it's ever been out there. What these kids are facing, what they're enduring. So many young children, 11 years old, even younger, contemplating taking their own lives, successfully taking their own lives. We just had an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old this year. Kathy knows who I'm talking about. It's so disgusting to me that these kids feel that they have no way out. What if we can give them the love and support they need, but behind the scenes, we're fulfilling deficiencies? I beg you guys to believe that there's a possibility that there's a correlation between the unhealthy diet that our children are eating and the way their brains are functioning. How on God's earth do we expect there to be a good, healthy connection between the gut brain and the brain? Saffron. This is scientifically proven. We have got many years proving, and by the way, ours has no adulteration, absolutely free. There will be no fake products within our nutraceutical line, but there's a lot of fakes out there. You can tell there's a significant difference in the way the product looks and the way the product smells. You're not going to find that with our nutraceuticals. This is 100% free from any adulteration. The saffron has been studied for many years, and we know that GABA will be affected by saffron. GABA is your anxiety marker. It's the neurotransmitter that supports the way you handle the stress throughout your day, throughout your seasons that you're walking through. We know that GABA is associated with good quality sleep, with emotional balance, a feeling of calm. A lot of times people who have addiction and dependency issue, they have very inadequate GABA levels. You can get your GABA levels checked, but what if we supported them with this in the meantime? And we could support them in maybe offsetting some of those cravings that they have. Progesterone levels can highly influence GABA. Women's progesterone levels decrease throughout a woman's menstrual cycle. Think about how you see those mood fluctuations throughout a woman's cycle. What if it was as simple as supporting the GABA levels in their body? What if? Why wouldn't we try? An excellent price point for such an amazing product. And it is, again, formulated, of course, with magnesium. Why? Because it's going to support relaxation. It's going to support the electrical activity in the brain. It's going to help support muscle relaxation, energy production, ATP goes up, good sleep cycle. All of these together, again, it goes back to a smooth running machine, guys. So this might be a picture moment for a lot of you. If you want to remember, what does this product actually support? One of the things that I really want to point out, if you go about midway down, helps support feelings of assurance. Do you know how many kids I see in my practice that do not feel assured of themselves? Do you know how many adults do not feel assured of themselves? The adults think it's okay that they find ways to cope, get their fix or take their stuff or whatever it is to cover it up. But children end up very, very sick as they walk through life, not even feeling confident in who they are. What if we could support that? Guys, this is a very, very heavy topic, stress management and heart disease. And it was one I looked forward to because it's so near and dear to my heart. You can tell I get quite passionate about this topic. I get passionate about a lot of these topics. I will just say that I've seen too many people that have become so ill as a result of simple deficiencies. Sometimes it starts with supporting the body with micronutrients so the person actually has the get up and go to want to get up and go. Sometimes we need to remember if somebody is not well mentally, emotionally, physically, that if we just simply have that conversation and say, what if we started simply maybe a multivitamin, maybe an omega-3, maybe an activated B. And if they felt a little bit better, imagine if they felt good enough to say, what else can you do to support me? And now we get them to the point that they can have a conversation. And maybe now they'll seek further help. And maybe now they'll start to get some exercise. And maybe now they'll turn to prayer and meditation. And maybe, right? But it starts with us, those of us that were here together tonight. So the next topic will be September 17th. I have a conference in August, so we'll miss August. And we're going to talk about focus, sleep, energy, and cognition. Join us next time. I am going to work on the links, the Zoom links behind the scenes. So if you guys get crazy messages, it's because Zoom is being a little bit silly right now. I am not canceling any of these events. So if you get a notice that says this has been canceled, it's not. I probably just edited it. I'm going to get the links so that you have to register each time. And I think that will help. Okay. Thank you for being with us tonight. The person who invited you is grateful that you took the time to be here. They have a special gift waiting for you. They also have the ability to present you with a coupon to give you 10 or 15% off if you choose to upgrade and try some of the supplements that might actually get you the result you're looking for, rather than just keeping on and putting something in your body because somebody said you should. This offer that they give you will be good through Friday at 5 o'clock, July 19th, this week. And I encourage all of you, join us as we continue our series, this 9-month series. And please feel free always to bring a guest with you. So I'm going to open up to my panelists now and ask you, were there any questions that stuck out in the chat that you wanted to bring back and have us approach?
Yes, Patricia Fuller has a great question. She wants to know if the Vitamine digestive product can be taken if somebody is drinking and smoking.
Yes. Absolutely, that can be taken if somebody is drinking and smoking. In fact, that product is going to support the body in having more ATP production, giving the body back energy. Also, it is going to support with some of the oxidative stress. So that would actually be a fantastic product for them. Yes. Any other questions from my esteemed panelists tonight?
No
Great topic, right,
questions.
guys? Great topic, right?
It
Yeah.
seems that the awareness that these products can be brought forth adults and children was a very
Yes.
important point.
It is, Jan, and I was so grateful to know that. And most of the products are good for, children, and we can promote them for children. But when it comes to mental health issues, oftentimes everything that's out there, you have to be an adult. So to have something that supports our youth, that meant the world to me because I see so many, and I think all of us do, right? We see so many kids that are just struggling. So, yeah, super good. Super good.
Thank you
Can
so
you-
much, Kelly. I love how you
Uh,
deliver the information to us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sam just asked a question, Connie's daughter, about the DNA Miracles omega-3. It is the same quality, Sam, as the adult capsules. It's just that if you were an adult taking the children's, you would have to take a significant dosage because it is set up for youth, for younger kids, right? So I recommend the omega-3 from baby on. I think it's just so good for neurological function. It's really good for healthy brain function. It's very good for mood and hormone balance. It's just when a child reaches an age where they can swallow the capsules, I'm going to recommend that. My kid was only 9. We didn't have the liquid when I noticed that he was experiencing very, very serious, without saying a word, he was experiencing an unbelievable shift and change in his moods, and it was extreme. And at 9 years old, I put on my nutraceutical hat and said, if my child is not able to put these things together anymore, and it's causing him to feel the way he feels, what could he be deficient in? I didn't say, what could I do to sedate him? I said, what can I do to support this? And I thought immediately, it has to be omega-3. Omega-3 is what supports the synapses and basically the communication from one cell to another, one neuron to another. And I'm telling you guys, he says within 24 hours, he did a complete turnaround. My husband and I noticed within 2 days that our kid was absolutely back. So yes, thank you, Kathy. Omegas are huge for sensory issues. Thank you. There's so many things that I wish we could just say, you guys, because it's tough because we know so much. That would have to be a private conversation because this is being recorded, and we have to be just very cautious. It's not that we don't believe that it can support certain states of being. It's just that there's legal reasons that we're careful about those things. We are not here to treat, cure, prevent any disease states. Okay. Well, Connie, you again were magnificent tonight. I cannot tell you how much it means to us every time you're with us. So I'm grateful. And for all of you that were here to support me, the Elliots and Jan and Dee and Kathy, it's funny, we've got Wisconsin, Iowa, Arizona, and Texas in the house, just with this little group. And we've spread across the nation. I see we've got California and quite a few other areas. We've got the East Coast on. So very, very cool. Well, I am grateful to be with all of you tonight. Thanks for hanging in there with us as we work through a few difficulties there. My pleasure to be able to serve you this evening. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.